Hot streak. So who deserves the credit for all that? Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you. I'm Neil Cavuto. Let's get the bottom line, shall we? From Ben Stein and Tracy Burns, Charles Payne, and Patricia Powell. Also joining us for the very first time is Alexis Glick. That should be a familiar name to you. Not only is she our director of business news, but on the upcoming Fox Business Network, she will be our star. All right, so
sure,
we'll put her on the spot in just a second. Okay, now we have seen Dow 14,000 strong earnings and more reports showing that the economy is not too hot, not too cold, so we're told just right. Alexis, who gets the credit?
All right, well, I think it's a combination of a couple things. I mean, first of all, let's give some credit here to the global economy. If you look at the growth right now in earnings, much of that growth we are seeing in overseas markets. If you look at overseas markets as well and you look at technology, 500 million households right now are connected to the internet. Half of them live in emerging worlds. So let's first of all look at the global economy. Second of all, taxes, receipts. We've got some great fiscal opportunities right now. They've been in existence for a while. And then I think the third thing is psychologically. Look at the war in Iraq, the global war on terror. To some degree, no matter when we get out, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it's winding down. The dollars and cents associated with that should start to slow. And psychologically, I think for Americans, that makes them feel a little bit better.
Well, if she's right, Tracy, that means a rally that keeps going.
Well, I think so. And I think we also have to give credit to the consumer, to people like us. As long as we're employed, we're going to go out there, we're going to keep spending and shopping and taking our kids out to dinner, and that helps the economy move along as well.
I'd like my kids to take me out to dinner.
Someday. Me too.
But go ahead.
And also, too, to your overseas point, foreign money is pouring into this country faster than ever before. I mean, this is still a very safe place to invest. So you have all this money coming in, couple that with the fact that there's all this M&A activity going on, so you have more money fighting over less stocks, which actually is pumping stock prices up.
You know, Ben Stein, to your point earlier about the dollar in previous shows and it dropping fast, and yet the market seemed to be ignoring that to their peril?
Well, I don't think so. I think the market is being pumped up by low interest rates, which is the exact same factor that is keeping the dollar down. I would give #1 credit to Mr. Bernanke and to the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee. I think we have had masterful monetary policy. I think we had masterful monetary policy under his predecessor, and I think we've had masterful monetary policy under him. But let's be honest about this. This is not a great economy for everyone. I mean, I'm the oldest Republican on the panel, but I still think this is not a great economy for everyone. It's a great economy for the upper and middle class and for the stock investors. For the ordinary guy working at Walmart or Kmart, not such a great economy at all. That's going to be a problem.
All right, but you could argue that divide between the haves and have-nots is certainly not new in this cycle, is it?
The divide is greater than it's been since the late 20s. The fraction of income concentrated in the top 1% and top 10th of 1%, and the fraction of wealth are greater than they've been since the late 20s. It's a real serious, inequality is a real serious problem. I don't think that's Mr. Bernanke's problem. I don't think it's the federal government's problem, but it's a problem.
Okay. Charles, on the notion that the markets are either dismissing problems like that or just going on because they see something else, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I think this is the Bush rally. And you know what, Alexis, you brought up the war, but here's the key. The markets around the world have exploded since March 2003 when the war began. It's not about the war winding down. You know what it's about? It's about peace and prosperity around the world. We're over there fighting Iraq and Afghanistan. We're keeping terrorists contained. We're keeping a certain calm that allows the rest of the world to enjoy comfort and security. By the way, the adoption of American-style capitalism, that is one of the keys to this thing. So if anyone's going to take a bow, I think Bush has to take a bow, not just for the U.S. economy and the stock market, but for the global